let it be taken as such for the nation. This is a prophecy, prophetic alert and warning. And for our camera crew, and this is a prophecy and prophetic alert over Kenya. And this is a word of caution to one Raila Amollo Odinga to watch out, because there's a trap to muzzle him. A word of caution to one Raila Amollo Odinga to be on a watch out, because there's a trap to muzzle you. I don't reach him. I've never met him. I don't even know if he knows me, but this word should reach him. Neno hili likamfikia. And this one also should go to all those whom God has burdened. If you have been burdened of God, to pray for this man. He's a man that there's a reason for him being there. And he's one that is a victim that you may not want to continue looking into. But where Kenya is right now, he remains the only impediment for this current administration. He remains the greatest impediment to this current administration in their quest to be oppressive, in their quest to do the thing they are bound to do. As things are, and if you follow the prophets I've shared before, that this current administration will be a mockery, will be full of jokes, and they will do things that will make many to wonder. And the current administration has bought and has compromised so many, including the church. So the church cannot be relied upon, plus the clergy. And the only hope that remains as a safe, as a watchdog and as a restraining factor were a few voices like the civil society. They too, most of them have been muzzled. I saw something like a trance, and this trance I see something like a crocodile. Crocodile having its mouth wide open, and everybody was being swallowed in. This crocodile with the mouth wide open is actually the spirit that is driving and at work behind this current administration. So there's everybody being swallowed in. People being swallowed in. Politicians, I mean, the church already has been swallowed in, the clergy. So there be none that will have a voice to speak and condemn the ills that this current administration will suck themselves into doing. And it will be like a highway of death, a real highway of death. You can imagine how drivers drive across the expressway and super highway. That's the craze that we shall be seeing of this current administration. It will be a highway of death. So with that one said, we will have needed, the nation will need some sober mind, some godly voices, and some personalities that can remain standing, although we are a nation in a judgment. And that particular figure or hope that Kenya may have as at the moment, though so much, though there's not much hope for the nation, is the man Raila Amollo Odinga. So there's a conspiracy of foreign. I saw a conspiracy of some foreigners and foreign powers to influence, and they're already doing so, to have the man muzzled and reduced to a voiceless figure. And that will be the end of him. That will be the end of him. Is the only impediment that, and the only restraining voice at the moment. Though the opposition has been weakened, and there isn't such an opposition at the moment, formidable opposition, that will help keep this government in check. They'll be rogue. The current, the captain will be rogue. His princess will be rogue, and they'll be like they have gone berserk. Just count, just keep your eyes watching. And as such, you have seen, and you'll be seeing many reasonable voice of reasons that is being kind of bought, compromised, and so that they clear the way for this administration to do all that they need to do. So there's a lot of foreign, there's a lot of foreign influence, foreign powers are currently working very hard, because Kenya will see a sale for a price of a bread. The things that Kenya owns or possessions that Kenya prizes. That includes parastatals. That includes things we look at, jewels of the nation that will be sold. And so there will be a buying spree. There will be a scramble by these foreign powers that will be fronting some certain elements. And this is in line with other prophets I've shared before, where we'll see Kenya being milked. It's like a Shylock going for the steak of a man. So Kenya will see a lot of prized possessions either charted away or they are sold off in quest for this government to keep afloat. These are prophecies I shared before. And the only hope that Kenya has at the moment is one Raila Amollo Odinga. Someone passed this word to him that, and plus those who are praying for him, that he is facing a trap. There's a trap that is well set for him to fall into. And once he falls into that trap, he'll be muzzled. And for us as a nation, you'll be like sheep meant for slaughter. The church, Kenya, please, there's no hope in the church clergy. There's no hope. The judgment is already eating Kenya. And you shall face hunger, drought, tough economic times. Life will be hard for the next 14 years in this republic. This is the judgment that God told me to release over the nation some time back. And it's born out of our own pride and our own mistakes and refusing to settle for the will of God. So being the only man remaining as a hindrance on the path for this administration to do their ills, there is a calculated effort and there's a well-calculated schemes to isolate him, and that will be the process of cutting him down to size, and that will be the end of him. Let him watch out Let him watch out for the offers and the goodies that will be dangled at him. Let him be on the watch out. His handlers, his advisors, and those who instruct him should hearken to this, because his voice may be out. His voice may be shut out sooner than what was already expected, sooner than as it was expected. It will be sooner, too soon. Too soon. So there is a conspiracy for that. And as I speak, what God showed me, it's already at work. It's been working. And it is actually foiled. It is covered. There are things that are disguised. And this current administration, they are witty, crafty, and very shrewd, doing things with a certain subtlety to beat the purposes of God. Intercessors who were actually praying for the remnants, because our prayers are for the remnants. Keep the man in your prayers. Keep the man in your prayers. There are a lot of efforts to either isolate him, eliminate him, remove him, and just to have him be past tense. Because of security reasons, I'll go deeper so much on that. I'll actually leave it for the wise ones to interpret. But I've said what will be sufficient enough to make intercessors and spiritual watchers to know how to pray. Hallelujah. 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 Already, Kenya, we were already eating judgment. If you never knew, GMO is part of the judgment that is eating Kenya. It's part of judgment. And we shall experience as a nation crop failure and drought. That will happen. That will really happen. When I talked about the locusts last year, some elements laughed at me. That was last year, but one. I said that over 24 counties of the Republic of Kenya will be invaded by locusts. And it happened. As a result, Kenya's bread basket, our harvest that will be harvested even this time, will fall far below. It is falling far, far below what Kenya has always harvested, plus what Kenya has targeted. That will call for imports, just in line with the prophecies that I released. This current government behaves as though they don't recognize its prophetic warnings. But that's because they are in judgment. The one that will suffer, person that will suffer, are the innocent citizens. The citizens, whom I don't want to say that they are innocent. You reap what you sow. And so for the sake of the remnants who were there, for the sake of those remnants, we'll need to be releasing these alerts so that you know how to be praying. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That was a quick one, and we may wait for the rest on Friday.